Welcome to your complete 2026 exam revision for Cambridge International AS and A-Level Economics Syllabus 9708. The A-Level exam is built with 4 papers, paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, paper 4. It is important to memorize, draw, explain, and apply, evaluate, judge. Chapter 1 is about the basic economic ideas and resource allocation. Key definitions of scarcity, opportunity cost, the risk variables, the factors of production, and PPC are very important. The PPC rule on the curve is efficient, inside is underused, outside is unattainable. This should be mastered. The movement along the PPC curve also should be taken into consideration. Inside, outside, what it means. The memory map gives you an overview of what you should learn about, and there is a question and model answer for you to practice. This chapter 2 is about the price system and the microeconomy. So you need to eventually know about the demand and the supply curve. What are the meanings, the key definitions of demand supply, the price elasticity of demand, the income elasticity of demand, the cross elasticity of demand, and the equilibrium. And you should know the movements along the curves and the shifts as well. The memory map is to give you an overview of what you need to learn about in this chapter. And you have a model question and answer which you need to attempt and try to base yourself on it with other questions in the past exam paper to practice on. Chapter 3 is about government micro intervention. You should know the key definitions in this chapter about market failure, externalities, indirect tax, subsidy, the maximum and the minimum price, the Lorenz curve and the Gini coefficient, where there are inequality of income distribution. Closer to 0 is more equal, closer to 1 is more unequal. And then you have the memory map for you to study the key aspect of this chapter and a model question and answer at the end for you to base yourself and practice. Chapter 4 is about the macroeconomic, and it is based on GDP, real GDP, aggregate demand, economic growth, unemployment, inflation, deflation. You need to study the aggregate supply and aggregate demand in the long run and how it affects the economy with inflation, with growth. So the memory map gives you an idea what you need to study and focus on in this chapter. And of course, at the end, you have a model question and answer for practice, and you can refer to your post-exam paper to practice more. In chapter 5, we concentrate on government macroeconomic intervention. The key definitions to focus on are the fiscal policy, monetary policy, supply side policy. We need to know about the budget deficit, the automatic stabilizers, the interest rate, reward and savings when borrowing money, etc. The key diagram to focus on is obviously about fiscal, monetary, and supply side, and the stabilizing points. You need also to focus on the main memory map for the key aspects of this chapter to study. There is a model question and answer for you to practice. Chapter 6 is about international economic issues, and it covers international trade, protectionism, current account, exchange rates, policies to correct current account imbalances. So you need to know the key definitions about absolute advantage, comparative advantage, tariff, quota, current account, exchange rate, depreciation. And the diagram to master is about foreign exchange market, the appreciation and depreciation, the export-imports impact. You have the memory map to be able to concentrate on the key aspect of this chapter. And at the end, you have a question and answer to practice on. And also, you can base yourself on past exam paper to practice more. Chapter 7 is about the price system and the microeconomy. And in this chapter, we concentrate about utility, indifference curves, budget lines, efficiency and market failure, private and social costs, benefits, cost, revenue, profits, market structures, growth, survival of firms, and firms' objectives and policies. You obviously have your key definitions to concentrate on and listed. You need to focus on utility, marginal utility, allocation of efficiency, productive efficiency, fixed costs, variable costs, marginal costs, normal profit, supernormal profit, economies of scale. The mind map gives you the focus on this chapter, so follow it, and then you have the model answer question to practice. Chapter 8 is about government microeconomic intervention. It covers efficient resource allocation and market failure, equity and redistribution, labor market forces and intervention. There are key definitions to master and listed. The main diagram to master is about the labor market diagram with labor demand and the costs and productivity and output and the revenue that goes with it. So the memory map gives you the focus on the main aspect of this chapter. You have a model question and answer to practice. Chapter 9 is about macroeconomy, and it focuses on circular flow, growth and sustainability, employment and unemployment, money and banking. You have key definitions such as leakage, injections, money, credit creation, liquidity, quantitative easing, sustainability, growth to focus on. You have several diagrams on circular flow of income to master for this chapter. The memory map gives you the main focus you should put on in this chapter. And you have a question on commercial bank as a model question and answer format. You can refer also to your past exam question to be able to practice more. Chapter 10 is about government macroeconomic intervention, and it is for A level. It covers policy objectives, links between macroeconomic problems, the effectiveness of policy options, key definitions that you need to know are Philip curves, Laffer curve, policy conflict, government failure, supply shock, policy mix. The main diagram is on the short-run Philip curve, which you need to master. And you need to know the short run, the long run, and the policy mix. You have the memory map to give you the focus on this chapter, which you can memorize and you can give more focus on to practice. You have a question and answer, model answer, and there are more in your past exam papers, which you can practice on more to cover this chapter. So chapter 11 is about international economic issues, and it is for A level. It covers policies to correct balance of payments, disequilibrium, exchange rates, economic development, characteristics of different development levels, relationships between countries and globalizations. You have key definitions to focus on, such as economic development. You have the PPP, purchasing power parity, the Lorenz curve, the Gini coefficient, which is very important. The FDI, the globalization, trade creation, trade divisions. Your memory map gives you a more focus on this chapter, which you need to master. Then you have the diagram, which is the Gini coefficient mainly that you get more often, and the Lorenz curve. You have several formulas to memorize, and these are very important as listed on this slide. You should focus on it, practice on it, and the core diagrams checklists are also in a summarized version, which you need to focus on, practice how they are built, and be able to practice more with exam question. Use the 6-step answer builder as shown in this slide to be able to answer to your questions, especially data response and essay questions. That's the complete Economics A-Level Syllabus 9708 revision. Good luck.